Do not kill yourself. If only it was that easy, right? I'm not sure what brought you to this video, but whatever it is, it can't be feelings of absolute joy and visions of rainbows. I'm going to assume that you're feeling like and have been contemplating the long dirt nap for a while. In this day and age, who can blame people for feeling like a blackness is eating them from the inside? Search the news headlines and all you see is turmoil. The earth is dying, people are at war, there's disease, and a pandemic that ravaged the whole planet. According to the WHO, around 700,000 people end their lives every year. That's more than the whole population of Luxembourg. I'm not gonna say it gets better. If you've ever opened up about ideations of suicide to someone, 9 times out of 10, this is what they'll say to you. It's difficult right now, but it definitely gets better. I guess it's supposed to be some kind of comfort, but let's actually talk about it. Let's analyze and assess if it does get better. If you've scoured the internet like I have about suicide and stories about it, you may have come across this gentleman. His name is Kevin Hines. He was out there in San Francisco dealing with immense feelings of depression, and one day he decided to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. It's about 70 meters or 220 feet. The reason I bring up Kevin is because of what he told himself the moment he let go. Up until that moment, the feelings he felt were the same as millions of people around the world. Feelings of worthlessness, failure, heartbreak, and hopelessness. He felt those feelings so strongly that in an instant it was better to leap to oblivion than to continue on. But once he stepped past the point of no return, he felt something only a few people have felt and lived to speak about. Regret. I thought it was too late, he said to himself. What have I done? I don't want to die. Regret washed all those emotions away, all the thoughts of anguish and depression. It got me thinking, how many other people that have jumped off that bridge at that moment of passing the threshold thought the exact same thing? I'm not a betting man, but I'd like to think a lot. Of course, jumping from a bridge isn't the only way to take one's life. I'm not going to list the other ways for obvious reasons, but I say that because I also want to talk about another young man I came across scouring the internet. Adam Mayer Clayton. He was a young Canadian man fighting for his right to die because his mental illness caused unbearable, persistent physical pain throughout his whole body. Adam didn't want to die, but for him, he wasn't living life anyway, so what was the point? It was truly a heartbreaking story. It goes to show that suicide isn't as black and white as people think. The situations are always different, but the one common thread is it's always rooted in one feeling: hopelessness. When I was in the depths of it, I was fortunate enough to have a therapist to talk to. He had me do a small exercise. Write out the things that you feel are still worth living for. If you're in the depths or you feel like you're heading there, you'll know that when contemplating suicide, you don't feel like there's anything worth living for. So to me, it was a futile exercise. But I decided to remix it in my own way. I decided instead to write all the reasons to actually do it. And man, it was one hell of a list. It included everything from stuff like failing to find companionship, to my erratic sleep patterns, from my horrific financial situation to my dependence on alcohol. There was a time I needed to chug straight gin just to get out of bed and function, albeit not too well. I wrote down how much I hated looking at myself in the mirror, to my feelings of jealousy towards others. It was a long list. When I finished, all I could do was cry. How did I let my life get to such a state? I felt worthless, like a piece of trash not worth any space in life. Probably wasn't a good idea to do this after all, but in any case, I sat on that paper for a few days. After a while, I came back to it. Before I let my emotions wash over me again, I decided to look at it as objectively as possible. I realized I could actually take back a lot of control. Picking apart everything, I started analyzing if these things are as detrimental as I think. My first response was always yes, but I had to catch myself. It took a while, but eventually I got to the bottom of the list. Did I feel better? A little. But I did manage to do something I hadn't in a very long while. Generate a little tiny bit of hope. The hope that's needed to carry on even when everything seemed so bleak. Will this work for others? I'm not saying it will. Our brains all work differently, and also, I'm not a mental health professional. But I tell this story to illustrate how I searched and found a smidgen of hope to continue. I still feel like a lot of the time. Ideations never quite go away, but I am still here. After watching this, you may feel like it was pointless. That didn't change anything. Of course it didn't. And here's another nugget. No video or talk with a therapist or even pills for that matter will flip a switch and make everything right as rain. The only thing that we have every day and what we wield as our greatest weapon against the call of the void is choice. The choice that we make every day. Is it easy? No. Will it get better? Maybe. But one way to solidify the fact that it will stay forever is to make that choice to end it. Even if the chances of getting better are, say, 1 in 1,000, that 1 is still magnitudes more powerful than 0 in 100 or even 0 in 1. I don't like the cliche depression sayings, but one that I do believe in though is you aren't alone. Take a step back and think about your choices. I'm not saying it's easy, but I also know it's not impossible. Dig with your nails if you have to, claw and scratch away at the dirt for your own sake, and discover that little golden nugget of hope. It can keep you going further than you think.